Session will be the packed session because we have many things to study. So let's start immediately without wasting the time. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. It means whenever you face any problem, never ever lose. Never change your final goal. Always change the ways of doing the things. Okay? Download Adda 24/7 on your mobile. Tell your friends, share it on your social media. Why? Because you'll get what will you get on this app basically? Here, various study materials of various exams related to banking as well as other government exams. Plus you get video lectures plus various updates. So do it fast, tell your friends. Also remember, we have the paid material over there on the app. On that paid material, you can get 77% off using this code Y432 on all the JAIIB and CAIIB products. You will get 77. 77 is a huge amount. Okay, so immediately do it. Share it with your friends. We have a ABM, BFM, and retail foundation, retail batch coming up. That batch is starting from March 28th, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So that is the most useful for you. If you are a first timer, immediately join. If you have failed once or twice, immediately join, because I myself will be taking the classes, and mind well, you will definitely clear it just listening at the classes. Okay. So today's topics which we will be covering are firstly law of demand, demand schedule, demand contraction, and demand extension. Then we will be seeing perfectly elastic and inelastic curves. Then we will be seeing equilibrium. Okay, so these related to demand and supply, everything is there in today's pack session. Only demand, law of supply I won't be taking, because why? Law of demand, it's just the opposite of law of supply. So it's a wastage of time for you and me, right? Okay, so let's start. Law of demand. Demand for a commodity tends to vary inversely with its price. It means what? As the price increases, the demand for the commodity will decrease. Okay, so it's given over here. This implies that law of demand states, other things remaining constant, a fall in price of a commodity will lead to a rise in demand of that commodity, and a rise in price will lead to fall in the demand, right? It's quite logical. If any price of the price of any commodity rises, do we buy it more or do we buy it less? We buy it less, right? So this is the law of demand. So what does it mean? If it means that if I go on increasing the price of some commodity, then what will happen? People will buy less and less. Okay. Then we have demand schedule. See here, demand schedule. This is the topic for CAIIB also. CAIIB. Okay. Demand schedule means what? It's a schedule. What do you mean by schedule? Schedule means when you go to a grocery shop, right? What do you take? You take a list. So that list is a schedule basically, right? Means what have you to buy and how much to buy. That is the schedule. So it is a numerical tabulation showing the quantity that is demanded at the selected prices. Okay. So this schedule means quantity demanded at the selected prices. A demand schedule can be of two types: individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. Okay. Now we are in CAIIB. We need not go in that much details of individual market. I'll just give you in short. See this. There are 5 families A, B, C, D, 4 families A, B, C, D, and the schedule of each one is given. This is known as individual demand schedule. Means at the price of 100, A will buy 1 quantity. At the price of 50, A will buy 2 quantity of some other product, right? So this is individual. A is individual, B is individual, C and D all are individual. But what is market demand then? The combination of all these, means average you can call it. The average of all these or combination. Some people take it average, some people take it combination. Here I have taken total. So 2 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 6. Okay. So market demand means what? The total of this. Okay. So that is taken. So this is known as a market schedule, demand schedule, and these ones are known as the individual demand schedules. Okay, got that point? Demand curve. Now this, once you understand the law of demand, Demand curve is very easy to understand. Okay, both individual and market demand curves slope downwards from left to right, indicating an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. Right? What was the law of demand? Law of demand stated that just now we saw it. As the price increases, the demand for the quantity decreases. Right? So we'll see it over here on the graph. See, this is the price on y-axis. This is the quantity demanded on x-axis. Now, as the price, it's presently it's at P, and now it's gone to P1. So price is decreasing. As the price is decreasing, the quantity demanded was Q at price P. Now the new price is P1. The quantity demanded is Q1. So quantity demanded has increased. Price has decreased. So it means that it is sloping downwards. This is similar to that of the ISLM curve, which you have seen in this ABM only. You will see that when I take it. Okay, this is similar to that. IS curve slopes downwards, LM curve slopes upwards. Same thing over here. Demand curve slopes downwards and this supply curve slopes upwards. Here I have not taken supply, I have not given the material for this. But what is supply curve? Okay, this is price and this is quantity demanded. So supply will be what? From year to year it will move up. Why? Because always remember, when the price increases, as a consumer I try to consume it less. But as a seller, if the quantity price of some commodity is increasing, what will I do? If I am the seller, I try to increase the sales because I will get more profit, right? See here, to keep it logical, suppose if the P is over here below, okay, and we are plotting the supply curve. If P increases to P1, then the quantity also, this person, whoever the seller is, he'll try to increase the quantity. So it will be like this. It will go up definitely. Okay. Contraction and extension of demand. Now what is contraction of demand? See this. Again, it's always on the same graph. Price and quantity demanded. The average is Q1. Okay. Then A is the average price. Means the point at which the price is P1. Now what happens? The price of the commodity increases, let's say, increases from P1 to it goes to P2. So if this price goes to P2, the quantity demanded will go down because that is the law of demand. If the price increases, quantity will go down. If the price decreases from P1 to P, the quantity demanded will increase because it should always follow the law of demand. Okay. So this moving from A point to B point is known as contraction of demand, and moving from A point to C point will be known as a extension of demand. Okay, so A to B contraction of demand and B to E extension of demand, or A to C also extension of demand. Okay, extension means increase, contraction means decrease. Okay. Now we'll see perfectly elastic and inelastic demand. Now what do you mean by elastic demand? Okay, what is elastic? Elastic means it's a rubber band, right? You can stretch it as much as possible up to a certain limit, of course. Okay, so elasticity means what? It increases in length when we apply the pressure on both the sides. Okay, so look at this: quantity demanded and price. Now what happens? This price is remaining constant. It's not changing at all. Then also quantity demanded goes on increasing. It means what? This quantity or this product has nothing to do with the price. Okay. It's like this. The plot or the building in a prime locality. Even if you increase the price a bit, the quantity demanded does not decrease. Right? Because why? The quantity, because it's so lucrative. That's why people will try to buy it at any price which is available. So it's not dependent on price. So that quantity or that commodity which is not dependent on price, it has a general genuine call or genuine demand. Okay, without any without affecting any price. Okay, so even if the price does not increase or decrease, basically increase I would call, then also the quantity demanded goes on increasing. So then it's called as perfectly elastic demand. Remember this, okay? Perfectly inelastic demand. So price is increasing or price is decreasing, both the ways. If it is at P1 and then it is at P2, if P2 is going down, then also the quantity demanded does not increase. It's same only. Even if I decrease the price, then also quantity demanded is same. So in that case, what will happen? That case is called as perfectly inelastic demand. Means changes in the price won't affect the quantity demanded. What are the examples for this? Okay, I'll give you an example. Today if I tell you I'm having one black and white TV, black and white television, and I want to sell it, would you like to buy it? Even if I decrease the price, means priorly it will be selling at something 1000 roughly or 500. Even if I give you at 10 rupees, will you buy it? No. Why? Because this black and white TV is outdated now. So that's why the commodity whose demand is totally outdated has nothing to do with price. So at that time, even if you decrease the price, then also the quantity demanded won't increase at all. Okay. Now we'll go for equilibrium. What is equilibrium? Because I am strictly sticking to CAIIB topics. Because economics is a huge topic. Somewhere here, it's somewhere there's an exception of called as Giffen's goods. But we are not going into any part which is not related to CAIIB. Okay. The price at which the quantity demanded of a commodity equals the quantity supply is known as equilibrium price. So what was the law of supply? This supply curve moves upwards and the law of demand curve moves downwards. So somewhere they will intersect. So the place at which they will intersect is known as there are two names to it. Firstly, equilibrium. Clear? Secondly, this point is known as the market. Now what is the market? That will come to it now later. So this point is known as equilibrium and this point is also known as market. So first I'll tell you about equilibrium. Market we'll be studying later. Okay. So equilibrium. Equilibrium means what? The price demanded, the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are both equal. That's why the business happens. Right. So what happens? Now look at the remaining parts. Now what is this excess supply? It means what? See, this supply curve is going upwards, but there is no demand or at this point P1. So demand is what? At point A. Demand is at over here and supply is at the point B. Means I am ready to supply 1000 goods, but the demand is only of 100 goods. So this 900 goods, that is excess supply. Reverse is the case over here. This supply, whatever I am trying to supply is 100, but the demand is 1000. So this is excess demand. Okay. The product will be sold at premium, and here the product will be sold at discount. Right. You'll get the two words premium and discount in the bonds in module B. Okay. So excess demand, excess supply. Got it? Now I come to the word market. As I told you earlier, equilibrium and market. So market means what? In economics, market means a social system through which the sellers and the purchasers of a commodity or a service can interact with each other. Okay? They can participate in sale and purchase. Market does not refer to a particular place or location. Remember these three lines. Okay? Importantly, where buyer and supplier interact with each other and they are ready on the price. See here, if I am demanding something at some X price and the supplier is ready to sell me at some X plus 10 price, so will the business happen? The business won't happen. Why? Because for business to happen, the supplier and the consumer both have to come at a common point. Right? So that is known as equilibrium or that is known as market. So the sellers and the buyers interact with each other, then they can participate in sale and purchase, and market does not refer to particular place. This is typically true in today's age, because we have Amazon, Flipkart, all those companies. Is there any place for that? No, it's just online. Earlier we had some different melas and everything, but things change as per the conditions. Okay, so today's point was basically for teaching you this, what do you mean by market, secondly what is the equilibrium, then what is excess supply, what is excess demand, perfectly inelastic curve, perfect contraction and extension of demand. Now remember, just one point to add on this contraction and extension of demand. See this, whenever a demand contracts, okay, whenever demand contracts, then what will happen? What will the supplier do? In that case, the supplier will have to reduce his cost, right? See, this happens, this contraction and extension of demand, this is a major point when RBI sells the bonds in open markets. Okay, so when RBI sells the bonds, if the bonds of other countries, other governments, that also comparable governments, not all governments, okay, if the bonds of other countries are at a higher, means they are giving a higher coupon vis-a-vis our bonds, in that case what will happen? RBI will have to sell the bonds at a discount price. Discount, why? Because demand will be less in that case. But now the comparison over here should be comparable economies, means India should be compared with the first world countries like USA or UK, all these countries, so China, these countries when you compare, then it's a comparison. But if you compare India's RBI's bonds with those of some other like South African countries, few South African countries, so that is not a comparison. So that's why contraction or extension of demand, it highly affects the Reserve Bank's policy of selling the bonds and buying the bonds. That is point number one. Also, where is this applied in? Basically, I would say where how does it apply to CRR and SLR? CRR basically, or repo. How does it apply to that? Here, if there is a extension demand for money, huge demand for money, then what will happen? Means basically, if the supply is more of money in the common public, then what will happen? When the supply of money is more, it gives rise to inflation. Now when it gives rise to inflation, the prices of the products would go up. Firstly, the land prices and the flat prices go up. So RBI has to control that. So that is basically increase in demand. In that case, what will RBI have to do? RBI will have to bring that demand back to the lower level. So this, it will have to bring from Q1 to Q2. So if it has to bring that from Q1 to Q2, what will it do? The price of that money will have to be increased. So what is the price of that money? That price of that money is CRR and repo. If the CRR is increased, banks won't lend much money, more money in the market, because they have to give it to RBI then under CRR. So if they give it under CRR to RBI, then what will happen? Then the flow in form of loans in the market will be less. Money will be less circulated in the market. As the money is less circulated in the market, the inflation comes down. Okay. Similarly, is the reverse way also. If there is a huge scarcity of money in the market, then what happens? RBI pumps in money. So pumps in money means what? There are 2-3 ways of pumping in money. Firstly, it will reduce the CRR, it will reduce the repo. And that is one way out. Second way is RBI also has the right to print the notes. So it can print the notes and bring them in the market, right? But that should not be done in excess. Always remember, RBI always balances this using this demand and supply curve. Similar to demand and supply curve, there is ISLM curve. RBI uses ISLM curve, which is similar to demand and supply curve. Here, that's why what I am saying, understand law of demand and law of supply critically and thoroughly, because then in module A you will see that ISLM curve. There you will understand it better. Okay. Demand curve is okay. Demand schedule is okay. Similarly, see here, I have not taken supply curve over here. Because what is supply curve? Okay, what is law of demand? Law of demand, as the prices decrease, the quantity will increase, demand in quantity. So what will be the law of supply? Similar one. As the prices increase, the quantity supplied will increase. Understand this. Because supplier will always try to sell more products at a higher price. Okay, so as this is the demand schedule, we'll also have the supply schedule. Supply schedule will be what? For individual supply, means individual companies, and market supply. So total of all these companies, right? Demand curve is like this. So supply curve will be what? It will be similar. Supply curve, right? What will be the supply curve over here? How will it move? This supply curve will move just in this direction. Means, suppose, let me show you. See here, supply curve will move like this, right? And demand curve is moving like this. So this supply and demand curve will be forming a equilibrium. So supply curve will move higher. Why will it move higher? Because here, if I plot this like this, plot it over here from here, what will happen? If this price is P1 and P2, so I am the supplier. It will cross over here and it will intersect over here. And here the quantity supplied is this much, here the quantity supplied is this much. So if I am the seller, the price, as the price increases, what will I do? I'll try to increase the quantity of the goods to be sold, right? So that's why I have not written this the material regarding supply curve, because it's hardly any it's hardly anything different. Okay, once you understand the demand curve, you'll immediately understand the supply curve. Okay, so that was the point of today's lecture. Firstly, law of demand, demand curve, contraction and extension of demand, perfectly elastic, inelastic, equilibrium, and market. Okay, hope so you have enjoyed it and you have understood it. So I'll stop it over here. See you in the next lecture. Also remember, we have, again I am coming back, we have the ABM, BFM and Retail Foundation batch, or basically Retail CAIIB June 22 batch. Remember, the target is June 22. So that batch is coming up on March 28, 6 am to 8 am. And it will be starting from 6 am to 8 am. It's on a daily basis. Okay, morning shift. And it's up to the last day of the exam. So you will definitely, you can solve all the queries. You can ask me any queries at that time also. Okay. So join that batch as fast as you can. Use this code Y432 for getting 77% discount on that on the exam, on this coming shift. Okay, so use it, tell your friends, share it on the social media. I'll take the leave now. Okay, bye. So now friends, something very important for you, very important and exciting. So what is important? See here, we have come up with a new batch of CAIIB 2022, target for June 2022, totally in English, right? Because the paper is in English. Okay, so that batch will cover BFM, ABM and retail, all the three subjects. Okay, the batch is from 6 am to 8 am, starts from March 28th 2022. Okay, target is June 2022 exam. Now very important part, we have a flat 80% off on the batch, as well as all the JAIIB and CAIIB products. But how do you avail it? For availing it, use this code Y432. Always use this code, never forget this code. Okay, so you'll say, how should I avail it using this code? See here, it's very simple. How to do it? Firstly, you go to, I'll show you the way how it is to be done. So firstly, what you have to do is, you have to go on Adda 24/7 app. Okay, and in that app, I'll show you, just 1 minute. Yeah. So go on this Adda 24/7 app or this website, either of these two, anywhere. App also, adda247.com website also, or app also, anyone. Now once you go there, you will see this, all the exams over here. Click on JAIIB CAIIB. Once you click on JAIIB CAIIB, you'll see JAIIB, CAIIB, all the remaining ones. So click on CAIIB. Once you click on CAIIB, you'll see everything, all this bilingual, English. So this is my photo and this is our English batch. So click on that. Once you click on that, you will get all the details. See this, when the batch is starting, how many days, 6 days, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., 28th March, English, everything you will get it. Plus the study material, study plan, 30 lectures per subject. Okay, all these things, how many video hours of coverage, then 120 plus video hours of coverage for ABM BFM, then for retail also 15 full length mock test videos, then topic wise mock tests will be provided, then topic wise ebooks will be provided, and everything for what? Even this is not the cost. 80% discount is available on this. Just click on this buy now, and once you click on this buy now, view offers, click on the offers. Okay, in the offers you put this code Y432 and you will get 80% off on the same. So basically, remember, what is this? This is an investment into your future. You are investing into the future. Okay, so see you in the batch. Be fast, because early bird catches the prey. Okay, be fast. Okay, chalo, bye.